Mridul and welcome back to my channel. So last week I went on my post-birthday trip to Goa. It was my 21st birthday. So along with 5 of my best friends, I decided to go to Goa, and a lot of you guys requested me to vlog the entire trip. So I did end up vlogging quite a few bits and pieces of the entire trip, and I'm going to be sharing that with you guys in today's video. But along with that, I also wanted to share with you guys how we made the entire trip for under 5,000 rupees per person. Now, before I start classifying all the expenses, I just want to throw in a really quick disclaimer. This was my trip. This is how much I spent. Of course, it's going to vary from person to person. And also, one more thing to remember is that I went along with 5 other people. So, we basically split a lot of the expenses, which is why it came down to this particular amount. So, yeah, I just wanted to throw that in really quickly because expenses will vary from person to person and the sort of lifestyle that you want to go to. So, let's just get started with the expenses. Now, expense number 1 is, of course, traveling. Now, obviously, there are multiple ways to get to Goa. You can go through a flight, you can go by road, or you can go by train. We decided to go by train because, as I said, a shoestring budget. And to make it even cheaper, we decided to go by second class, 3-tier, non-AC train. And honestly, that was quite an experience. Probably the first time I traveled like that, but so worth going by train. It was so much of fun traveling with my friends, obviously. And honestly, it wasn't really that bad. It was clean. I mean, I didn't have any cockroaches running around me. The seats were pretty clean. Of course, I would say carry your own like bed sheets and like something to spread on top of the bed to sleep on top of. But other than that, everything was great. I don't regret going by train at all because it was so cheap. I think one way was like 250 rupees one way. So two-way, it's like 500 rupees. So we were able to go and come back to Goa for 500 rupees. Now, of course, the train prices vary. So I think we can round off to 600 rupees. Now, expense number 2 is probably the most expensive part of any trip, which is accommodation. So initially, when we were trying to look for places as to where we wanted to stay, we were looking for individual hotel rooms, but we ended up settling on a villa which had a private pool as well. I will link where we stayed in the description box below, but I honestly wouldn't recommend it to you guys. It was very luxurious, very clean, pretty and all of that, but the hospitality and just the staff in general didn't leave a very good taste in my mouth and all of our mouths really. So yeah, I wouldn't recommend staying there, but I'm sure you can find so many different villas in Goa or just hotel rooms as well, which are very cheap. So if I were to divide the amount by 6 people, it comes up to around 2,250 rupees per person. And also the price that I've said is for 2 nights and 3 days. Now, expense number 3 is transportation once you actually reach Goa. So according to me, it is a must to rent a scooty once you get to Goa because I feel like that's really fun and kind of gives you the feels that you're actually in Goa. There are a bunch of places that rent out vehicles, 2-wheelers or even cars for that matter. So now we were 6 people. That meant we needed to rent at least 3 2-wheeler vehicles. So the 3 vehicles that we rented, the first one was like a normal scooty, which was 300 rupees for 1 day, and along with the petrol, that is 400 rupees. So if you were to split that into 2, it would cost 200 per person. As for me, I decided to rent a pink Vespa because I just wanted to take a bunch of pictures with that pink Vespa. So that was for 350 rupees, and one of my friends actually decided to rent like this sports bike. I think it's called a ATM. No, it's called a KTM. Ignore that. And the rent for that was like 1,500 rupees. Let's get to the next category, which is food. Now, this takes up a lot of the budget as well. It was a little bit tricky to calculate how much I spent on food. So basically for me, I don't eat as much. So for me, per meal, it was no more than 200 rupees. But of course, I know everyone doesn't eat as little as me. So I decided to calculate how much one of my friend ate per meal. So he eats a lot, and also he ate non-vegetarian seafood and all of that. So for him, it was around 300 rupees per meal. So food in Goa is very, very cheap. So per meal, if you are to calculate lunch, dinner for the first day, and then lunch and dinner for the second day, it comes up to around 3, 6, 9, 12. So around 1,200 rupees. Now, if you guys are thinking what we did for breakfast and like snacks, what we basically did is before we left for Goa, we went to like a normal store and we just bought a bunch of snacks, and we also got like around 40 theplas packed. The theplas were for the train journey because we honestly didn't want to eat the food in the train and get sick by any chance. So that in total came up to around 1,000 rupees. So if I were to divide that by 6 people, it's around 170 rupees. So if you add both the things up, it gets to around 1,370 rupees for food, like total. And if we add all the 4 expenses so far, it costs around 4,450 rupees. So basically that is how much I really spent, around 4,500 rupees. I did want to leave a sort of safety net of 500 rupees because things can go wrong and you might need that extra money. And yeah, that's it. That's how much I spent in Goa for 2 days and 3 nights. I really hope you guys enjoyed this video because I know a lot of you guys who watch my videos are around the same age as me. And it's always nice to have budget trips at this age. And if you found it helpful, don't forget to share it with your friends so that it could help them as well. And subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. Give this video a thumbs up. Follow me on my social medias, and I'll see you really soon in my next video. Bye!
Hi everyone, my name is Mridul. Welcome back to my channel.
तेरा रबर बैंड कौन से हाथ में?
दोनों में लग रहा। अबे हम लोग इधर पोज देके रुक के चलना। डाउन जी के बारे में।
आदित्य। अरे सीरियस।
कुछ भी नहीं।
क्या है?
जमीन है। स्लिप हो गया मैं।
अच्छा। Exactly कर क्या रहे हो?
I put my love in every change and took to my season.